In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the murder mystery that was accidentally captured by an Amazon Alexa. If you love true crime or murder mysteries, then this one is for you. This video is based on actual events, but some of the details may be fictionalized for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised for this video, as some of this video may be offensive or disturbing. I, the narrator, am not responsible for any actions taken by the viewer after watching this video. We highly suggest not replicating the actions of the subjects featured in our videos. All names have been changed to protect the privacy of the individuals involved in the case, unless they are public figures. The families of the victims have also been notified and informed about the video being made. We have done our best to reach out to all parties involved through email. Please let us come into your home and solve your murder mystery. Amazon has revolutionized the way people shop by introducing a new way of shopping, hands-free shopping. The Amazon Alexa can order you anything you want just by asking. But what happens when the Amazon Alexa becomes a witness to a murder? That's exactly what happened in this case. Let's take a look at the murder that the Amazon Alexa witnessed. Amazon Alexa has made life much easier with its ability to answer questions and order products with just a simple command. With over 100 million devices sold worldwide, it's no surprise that many homes have an Amazon Alexa device. But when these devices pick up more than intended, it can lead to some very awkward situations. This is what happened in a case where an Amazon Alexa device captured audio of a murder. On February 26, 2019, two men were found stabbed to death inside their apartment. Their names were Eric and Brendan. They had both suffered multiple stab wounds and were pronounced dead at the scene. It quickly became clear that the case would be treated as a murder investigation, because there was no sign of forced entry into the house and nothing appeared to be stolen. This led the police to believe that the killer must have been someone that Eric and Brendan knew. The police searched the apartment for clues, and they found something very strange. There was blood all over the kitchen floor, walls, and ceiling. It looked like a brutal attack, but there was no sign of a weapon. As they continued to search, they found two phones, both of which belonged to Eric and Brandon. But when they checked the phones, they found something even stranger. Both phones had voice recordings of the attack, including the sounds of the fatal blows being struck. The police listened to the recording, and the details became even more gruesome. One of the recordings even picked up the killer's conversation, and he was heard arguing with the victim before the attack began. After hearing the recording, the police were able to get a better understanding of what happened that night. They learned that Eric and Brendan were close friends and that they had been planning to go out for dinner when the incident occurred. According to the recording, it seemed like the attacker had been waiting for them inside the house and had ambushed them when they arrived home. The police were able to identify the attacker from the recording, and it turns out that he was someone that Eric and Brendan knew. His name was David. David was a former acquaintance of Eric and Brendan, who had recently moved to the city. He had a history of violence, and the police believed that he was the one who attacked the two men. The motive for the crime was unclear, but the police believed that it may have stemmed from a previous altercation that David had had with Eric after the murders. David fled the scene, and the police were able to track him down using his cell phone. They arrived at his apartment and surrounded it, but when they tried to enter, they were met with resistance. David refused to come out and barricaded himself inside the apartment. After a several-hour standoff, David eventually surrendered to the police and was taken into custody. When questioned by the police, David admitted to the crime and explained his motive. He claimed that Eric had made a joke at his expense during a party, and he took it as a personal insult. He said that he confronted Eric about it, but Eric refused to apologize. So he decided to attack him. On the night of the murders, David had followed Eric and Brendan home from the bar and ambushed them when they arrived. He said that he did unknow that Brendan was Eric's friend, and that he would have let him go if he had known. The evidence against David was overwhelming, and he was charged with 2 counts of murder. At his trial, David's defense attorney argued that he should not have been charged with murder because he had not intended to kill Brendan. However, the prosecution argued that David's actions were premeditated and that he should be convicted of 2 counts of murder. Ultimately, the jury agreed with the prosecution, and David was convicted of 2 counts of murder. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison without parole. As for Eric's family, they were devastated by the loss of their son. They said that he was a kind and caring person who was always willing to help others. They also said that they were relieved that justice had been served. The case of David's murder was a tragic one, and it highlights the dangers of unprovoked attacks. It also shows the importance of seeking help if you are feeling angry or violent. If you are struggling with violent thoughts, please reach out to a mental health professional or a trusted friend or family member. Now let's take a closer look at the Amazon Echo device that recorded the murders. This device is called an Amazon Echo Dot, and it's one of the most popular devices that Amazon sells. It is a small device that looks like a hockey puck, and it has a microphone and speaker built into it. It can be used to play music, set timers, and answer questions. It can also be used to order products from Amazon. The device is always listening for a wake word, which is usually Alexa. When the device hears the wake word, it will activate and respond to the request. The device uses natural language processing to understand what the user is saying, and it can process the request and respond accordingly. In the case of the murder, the Amazon Echo Dot was able to record the attack because it was always listening for the wake word. When the attack began, the device recorded the screams and the sounds of the attack. It was able to do this because it was always listening for the wake word. Even if the device had not been activated, it would still be able to record the attack because it was always listening for the wake word. The Amazon Echo Dot is designed to be always listening for the wake word, even when it is not in use. This allows the device to respond to requests, even if it is not being actively used. However, this also means that the device can record conversations, even when it is not being actively used. It is important to note that the Amazon Echo Dot does not store recordings of conversations unless it is actively listening for the wake word. However, if it records something by accident, the recording can still be stored on the device. In the case of the murder, the recordings were stored on the device and were able to be accessed by the police. Amazon has since made changes to the way the Amazon Echo Dot works in order to prevent this from happening again. The company has added a feature that allows users to disable the device's ability to record conversations. This allows users to have more control over their privacy and ensures that their conversations are not recorded without their knowledge. This case raises important questions about privacy and the use of voice assistants. It also highlights the need for companies to take steps to protect user privacy and ensure that their devices are not used to record conversations without their knowledge. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching.